back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
I'm going home to the place where I belong, where your love has always been enough for me.
Isn't there a Philip song called Home, too? We should tee that one up. That's another good song.
I love his music every time.
Yeah, Dwayne always has some gems, so I'll put that challenge down. Phillips, is that right? Home. All right, we'll use that one. We're talking about home and the new home for a generation of people who are wanting to age in place. Opal by Element at the corner of King Edward and Cambie, right near where I live. I walked by it with my dog, and the groundbreaking has happened. There's going to be a big hole soon, right?
Yeah.
You start digging it out and getting it ready, and the finish date is when?
2019 in 24 months.
24 months. That's amazing. You can build something that significant in 24 months.
Yeah.
Also joining us today is Douglas Guest, our guest, talking about his personal experience with his family and the stresses of having, young children, elderly parents, what you're going to do. So you found Opal by Element, and how did you get your mother excited about this? What was it? So we talked about the light bulb moment for you, where here's something that can marry up with our ideals. But when you took it to her, what did she have to say?
Well, initially, when I took it to her, she has a preconceived notion of retirement homes. And it was actually when we went to the Discovery Center and seeing the shots and hearing the conversations and going, this looks nothing like I would imagine a retirement home being. This is a place I could live. And she saw the things, and she, as it went through the amenities and the layout and even the suite, the demo suite, going, this is actually a place I would enjoy living, which was what was critical for her. And so she got really excited about it. And part of it was also from the experience of seeing what happened with my father, of realizing his health wasn't great for 13 years, and we weren't sure when he was going to go, and he just kind of kept going. But then in December, it was something funny happened, and 2 weeks later he was gone.
Right.
And realizing that nobody knows when any of this happens.
Yes.
And so she was looking at it going, this is a space that is more manageable to me. This is a space that can provide the support I need when I want it, because she is very much wanting her independence.
Sure.
And when she saw it all, and having had our experience of trying to build the laneway, she realized this is actually everything I want, and it's not in just the tiny little laneway house. Having everything available right there when she wants it.
And she might go many, many years before she needs any extra care. So it's just essentially a two-bedroom unit that she's living in. It's not really a retirement. He just happens to be of a certain age.
Well, and we bought the corner unit townhouse, so it's right there, has its own private entrance as well, which was a big part of the thing for her.
She wanted her own front door, right?
She could have her own front door, so the door into the rest of the complex can be closed. If she wants to just live completely independently, she can, and it's just like having her own brand new townhouse.
And you also bought one for your in-laws, too.
Why was that? Oh, yeah, Candy, you're jumping ahead here. All right. So I wanted to bring that in. But anyway, so your mom, so she likes the idea of having her own front door, having her own space, and it just happens to be connected to the rest of this facility.
She knows that eventually she will need more support. She doesn't want to really acknowledge that she's not able to be independent, but what she really liked about it and got her excited is she can be independent. She can keep that second door closed and have this brand new place where she'll have the dog, and she can come and go as she pleases. If she suddenly wants to have a meal, instead of make one in the unit, she can go to the dining room, the restaurant.
And she might say 2-3 times a week that's what she wants to do. Yep. It's less work, right?
Yep, and it gives her the control, because all of it's available to her, and so she can suddenly pick some of this instead of myself or other members of the family saying, this is what you need to do now, so this is what we're doing.
Okay, now, is part of it a relief for your mom to know that there's less stress for you and your siblings because she saw what you went through with your dad, and she doesn't want that to happen again?
Absolutely. Absolutely. She wants a place that she can be independent and also not be a burden on us. And it's
amazing, parents, they give and they give and they give.
Yes,
and then they get older, and then they feel like, oh, I don't want to take.
Yes, exactly.
They still want to give. They're always your parents, no matter how old you are. You're always a child to your parent.
No, for sure. And because for me, I'm realizing, because things happen so quickly in the end with my dad, I want to be able to spend that time with my mom, be able to go by and just enjoy that time and not have to worry about fixing the house or making sure the caregivers are there or their groceries or whatnot. Being able to go by and support her, and that's what she wants too, because we all open our eyes at some point and come into this world, and we're all going to close it at some point. But it seems like nobody really wants to address it or deal with it until it's upon them.
Well, that's your business. You say you're in the life insurance business.
Yes.
You're selling the what if, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if somebody's gone through that whole process of buying insurance and critical illness insurance, it's like, well, I don't need that. I'm covered through work. Well, really, you're not. So, and here are the reasons why. So, did that speak to that sort of part of your brain that is in that line of work?
It did, absolutely, because much like when I'm selling insurance, I will say this isn't about when something bad happens. This is going, take care of that risk so you can go out and do whatever you want and know you're taken care of. And the same thing here, let my mom live her life as full as possible and know that if something is needed, it's available. She doesn't have to take it until she wants it.
So your mom got excited about she's going to have in her mind, a new townhouse, a new front door with her dog, and then if anything happens, she has it there. Now, the in-laws, when did they hear about this, and how did they say we want in too?
They did, because I was with my wife. We were having dinner at my in-laws and sharing the family story of what was happening at my household, and they knew what was going on, and they're both 72 and starting to realize that things aren't quite the same they always were, and that they may need to start thinking about this. And when I suddenly said, here's what we're doing with my mom, being able to give her a brand new space and being able to have it all customized and the support that's available, it's just down the street. They looked into the brochures I had. They went to the Discovery Center and right away said, okay, we're excited. We want to get one.
And do they live in the same neighborhood as well?
They do. They live just off 24th and Laurel. So it's all right in the same
That's
neighborhood.
near where I live.
And so...
Yeah. Okay. So was that part of it? The geography of Opal by Element, being at King Edward and Cambie on the west side. People are established in that sort of west side neighborhood. They want to stay there.
It absolutely was, because to make a move is one thing, but both for my father before he passed away, for my mother, and for my in-laws, there is life has been a certain way. There's a routine in there, and the idea of moving is one, but if you got to move out of your neighborhood and change all the basics, that was daunting. And so for them to have this right there in the backyard, that they're just moving into a newer space that is more manageable for them, that they can customize, but they're not losing the lifestyle and the neighborhood they're used to and the connections, that is a very large part of why they were excited.
Does your mom drive still?
She does still. Although we're starting to hit a point that
time to consider that, right?
Time to consider that.
So being right on transit on the Canada line has got to be helpful. Maybe she wants to go to the art gallery. You said your mom's a painter, right? Go down to the art gallery. It's 4 or 5 stops away, and you're right there.
Oh, she loves the neighborhood for having both the Canada line to be able to go down to. You can go downtown, go to the art gallery. Hit the restaurants on Cambie, but also for Queen Elizabeth Park on the backside, be able to go for the walk with the dog and having people quickly available. And then the things that she will need for support are all available in that one location as well.
Now, your kids are 7 and 5. Do you think they're going to be just as excited to go to Grandma's house in this new versus, a detached home? I mean, for them, it's all just about spending time with their family.
Yep. No, that was why we particularly wanted to get the larger 2-bedroom unit, was to be able to have a second bedroom so the kids could go over and do a sleepover like they do normally. Like there's times where the kids will go over and do a sleepover to be with Grandma.
Gives you a break. You can go away for a night, right?
But that was high on my list.
And all the intergenerational parties that we'll have and the other grandkids that they can play with. That's how we envision it. That it's
because that actually
like
was
a playground almost.
something that did factor into my thinking was to have a place that family, because having my parents enjoying my kids and the grandkids' time, but they also enjoy the time with their parents. If they're not in a space that allows that, it becomes difficult. So having a large setup and also a property and facility that actually wants kids around to interact with people.
Because you don't need that person. You kids, be quiet. So you have a sort of a noisy room or a playroom that's insulated.
We have multiple rooms and that's the whole thing, because I think a lot of the other operators would consider this, but then as soon as they think about it, it's maybe like a lot of people don't like loud noise. it's not that they don't like kids or the energy, it's the noise that they're worried about. But that's an acoustic engineering problem. That's not like don't have them there. So we've got the private function room with the dining and the living room set up, soundproofed and enclosed and large enough that you can have parties of 12, even up to 24. We have the rooftop that is designed for, outdoor, of course, they can do. And then there's the dedicated intergenerational space. Of course, it's both safety and soundproofed. It's connected to an outdoor playground. And then our movie theater, naturally, that is soundproofed. Our games room is soundproofed. Our yoga room is soundproof, where they can do dance and ping pong and all sorts of fun, interactive family things. So it's just accommodating in the thoughtful physical design engineering of the space. And the rest of it, there's a hardware component to allow that functionally. And then there's the software of having people that actively encourage it and create that sense of welcoming.
So of all of those things, what is your mom most excited about with this, with Opal by Element? Is it the food, the cooking? Is it the place to do yoga? Is it the spa? What is it?
Well, she's been a huge fan of the ability to do the cooking. So being able to whether it's suggest recipes and have things cooked for her, or the open kitchen setup to be able to have cooking parties and have people over. Yeah. And she's very much an avid painter, and that's where she likes to be creative and express it. And so the one unique thing that we liked about this was there is the facility for it, but there's also an attempt to integrate actual arts and music people coming in to help support things, whether there's the grand piano in the lobby and having somebody from the VSO come in and play, or being able to kind of just share that experience, or let my mom play the piano, or
Candy could play for you. Really, she's quite.
And my son is playing cello now, and he loves it. Yes,
so the two of you could have your little duo there.
Everybody can.
The big thing that she loved about it was the things that were important to her. They were all there, and she would have the choice of it being available to her.
Yeah, you can participate or not, but
it's all available.
Always,
We're talking about Opal by Element, and the best way to find Opal by Element is go to elementliving.com, right? That's the new shortened website.
Yeah.
And you can go and visit Candy at 12th and Cambie at City Square to see the Discovery Center.
Yes,
so there's a mock unit there?
Yes, there's a display suite that is the one-bedroom condo, and then there's the whole the physical 3D model of the site layout and the building itself, and then there's a presentation of all of the amenity spaces where we would explain what happens in each space, so it becomes very clear. Because it's very hard for people to visualize just talking, but
that's what we do. We paint pictures here on the radio.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll continue our conversation next on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.